Coming up tonight on VCU InSight, VCU President Michael Rao releases 2 statements on the ongoing war in Israel amid backlash from some in the VCU community. Dozens of renters are displaced following an apartment fire in Chesterfield, and the Hispanic community is growing in Virginia. We're at the Virginia Fiesta, taking a look at the celebration of culture and community. All this and more, VCU InSight starts right now. Hello, I'm Brian Fritz, and this is VCU InSight. VCU President Michael Rao is making an attempt to support all groups affected by the war in Israel. This is following concerns expressed by some people in the VCU community about his initial statements. InSight reporter Damon Hollenshed is on campus with details on how Rao is meeting with these students.
This is the latest statement from President Rao. It says that he is meeting with VCU Qatar's campus this week. He has already met with student leaders and advisors of VCU's Muslim Student Association, Hillel at VCU, the Palestinian Student Organization, Black Muslim Collective, and Jewish Life of VCU. This comes after a previous statement released by Rao received backlash over his word choice. One petition signed by almost 1,000 people said Rao's previous statement excluded support from other groups impacted by the war. Rao now says in a more recent statement, it remains heartbreaking that innocent civilians, Israeli, Palestinian, and many other nationalities have been killed, and we must always place the highest value on all human lives anywhere they are. Rao states that VCU's priority is to make sure all community members feel safe, welcomed, and respected on campus. All of this comes as VCU's Palestinian Student Organization has held 2 rallies around campus. The Jewish community has held vigils throughout the city as well. Reporting from Richmond, and for VCU InSight in the newsroom at VCU, I'm Damon Hollenshed.
Chesterfield fire marshals are now investigating what caused an apartment fire where 5 people were injured and dozens displaced. InSight reporter Riley Matthews is at the apartment complex on Pavilion Place with the latest.
Around 11 p.m. on Sunday night, crews responded to a 2-alarm fire at the Waterford Apartments on Pavilion Place in Chesterfield. 12 units in the apartment were damaged, leaving 48 residents now displaced. When crews arrived, flames could be seen coming out of the 3-story building. It took crews an hour and a half to get the fire under control. 4 injured residents were treated on scene, and 1 firefighter has since been released from the hospital. Investigators are still trying to find the cause, but they have determined it started on a 3rd-floor balcony. The Red Cross is now helping those displaced victims. Reporting from Chesterfield for VCU InSight and the newsroom at VCU, I'm Riley Matthews.
With rising mortgage rates across the country, Richmonders are starting to feel the hit. According to recent reports from Redfin, Richmonders need to earn just over $102,000 a year to afford a typical home. According to Axios, the median home sale price in Richmond was $375,000 in August, with the monthly mortgage payment topping $2,500. First-time home buyers are hit the hardest, with the only solutions being either buying a townhouse or condo, which are slightly less expensive. Henrico is constructing a new multi-use trail that reaches across the Commonwealth. The hope is to make it easier to connect bikers and walkers to different parts of the state. Reporter Damon Hollenshed is in Henrico with details on the Fall Line Trail and how the community is reacting to it.
I'm standing in the middle of Bryan Park and Spring Park that will soon be connected with the introduction of the Fall Line Trail that will run 7 miles long through Henrico into neighboring areas. Bryan Park is home to playgrounds, streams, and beautiful scenery for Central Virginia residents. And soon, there will be a new trail to add to its list of area attractions. Residents like Adrian Stone have been needing trails like the Fall Line Trail to partake in their favorite hobbies. Stone spends his afternoons at Bryan Park fishing for whatever he can get. When asked about the trail, he says he approved of the county's plans and intends to use the trail for his favorite activity.
Put some water? Oh, yeah. I'd love to then. Go fishing.
The Fall Line Trail is a collaborative effort between VDOT, government agencies, and special interest groups. It will run from Petersburg to Ashland. It is estimated to cost over $250 million after completion. Henrico's section of the trail will be built in 8 phases and finished at the Chickahominy River at the Hanover County border. Henrico Transportation Development Division Director Sharon Smidler emphasized the trail is beneficial for more reasons than just active transportation.
It's for people to get to schools, to jobs, destinations like Lewis Ginter or other facilities. It connects neighborhoods, urban areas, rural areas, and it's a regional collaboration.
According to the official Fall Line website, upon completion, the Fall Line Trail will be a key connector to 24 public schools, numerous parks, and colleges.
So we're working out the maintenance of the Fall Line Trail. Some portions will be maintained by VDOT. Some portions in the Henrico County will be maintained by Henrico, but that's something we're working on.
Henrico plans to have their trail segment completed by 2025. Reporting from Henrico with VCU InSight in the newsroom at VCU, I'm Damon Hollenshed.
The VCU Free Store is offering items at no cost for VCU students after being closed for 3 years. InSight reporter Jason Tejeda Molina is taking a look at what the Free Store has to offer.
The Free Store just opened up this week. Blenders, bowls, and art supplies. These are just a few of the things you all can shop for. The initiative's aim is to make sure the VCU community has what they need for success and to improve our environment by not letting products go to waste. The store wants to make sure all students have access. There is a tiered system with points assigned to each item. Each student will be given 3 points to spend every month and are allowed to receive 1 item worth 5 points once per semester. According to VCU student Shania Colden-Burson, there's a lot of products that stand out to her.
Definitely the bigger items like the coffee pots, the mason jars, because I know it's hard to come across mason jars. That's actually one of the things I took with me.
The new location will be at 930 West Gray Street. The store will initially be open Wednesday through Friday from noon to 4. For the first 2 weeks, students will need to make an appointment to shop at the Free Store. Reporting in Richmond for VCU InSight in the newsroom at VCU, I'm Jason Tejeda Molina.
It's time now for the CNS News Minute. This is where we take a look at the top stories VCU's Capitol News Service reporters are working on. CNS digital reporter Holly Ann Purvis has more.
Thanks, Brian. The majority of Virginians are not up to date with the latest COVID-19 vaccine due to something experts call vaccine fatigue. Health officials are concerned about this due to the looming triple threat of the flu, COVID-19, and RSV. The Virginia Department of Health's Director of Immunization says a lack of vaccination is also due to the commercialization of the COVID-19 vaccine.
You have a lot more moving pieces when the U.S. government isn't controlling the entire processes.
Gray says that can cause confusion about insurance and affect distribution. Experts say accessibility can be another factor when considering a decreased uptake of vaccines. More information can be found on the Virginia Department of Health website. Popular rentals like Airbnb and Vrbo are facing regulations across the nation. Several Virginia municipalities, including Louisa, Richmond, Hampton, and Danville, have recently drafted or passed ordinances to regulate short-term rentals. The regulations were put in place to reduce disturbances for residents, including parking, trash, noise, and septic tank overuse. Richmond passed an ordinance that requires short-term rentals to be located on a homeowner's property in residential zone districts. In Hampton and Danville, those areas are exploring a rental policy. Short-term rentals have spiked in Danville since the new Caesars Casino partially opened. This October is Virginia's 35th annual Wine Month, a time to celebrate the industry's continued growth. There are over 300 wineries and more than a dozen wine trails in the state, bringing in millions of tourists. The economic impact of the industry is almost $2 billion, according to an analysis published last year. And in Scott's edition, the Blackheath Meadery and Buskey Cider have won gold medals for their mead and cider. Reporting for VCU's Capitol News Service, I'm Holly Ann Purvis.
Now it's time for VCU's Insight into Sports. Reporter Mario Navarro is in studio with more.
Thank you, Brian. This past weekend, UVA upset number 10 ranked UNC 31-27. This marks UVA's second win of the season after starting 0-5. This win comes with a powerful performance by running back Mike Hollins, who survived the UVA shooting last year. He rushed for 66 yards on 15 carries and scored 3 touchdowns. JMU football is now ranked. The Dukes came in at number 25 on both AP Top 25 and USLMB-M Coaches Poll. This is the first time JMU's been ranked in both polls. The Dukes are off to a 7-0 start and 4-0 in the Sun Belt. VCU men's soccer have already punched their ticket to the A-10 tournament, but the Rams will wrap up their season against A-10 rivals St. Bonaventure. A win or draw against them will guarantee a home game in the A-10 tournament. Kickoff will begin at 7 p.m. this Saturday. VCU women's soccer is also heading to the A-10 tournament after a late equalizer by forward Kendall Sarver against Loyola this past weekend. This means the Rams will face a number 1 seed and A-10 regular season champs, St. Louis. Kickoff for this game will be at 8 p.m. on Saturday. In women's tennis, 4 Rams competed at the ITA Atlantic Regional Tournament in the main draw and doubles pairing. They reached the round of 16 in doubles. VCU ended with a record of 13-9. Reporting for VCU InSight in the newsroom at VCU, I'm Mario Navarro.
The Virginia Film Festival returns to Charlottesville this week for its 36th year. The 5-day festival will feature dozens of films plus panel discussions throughout the weekend. Featured in this year's festival is the Leonard Bernstein biopic, Maestro, and American Symphony, a documentary following American jazz and R&B artist Jean-Baptiste. Tickets and a full schedule of events and screenings are available at thevirginiafilmfestival.org. The Virginia Fiesta is celebrating another year of culture and traditions found across Latin America and Spain. VCU InSight reporter Ana Parada tells us more on just how important events like these are for the Richmond community.
For Venezuelan singer Saida Flores, singing is everything. So when she was invited to show off her culture at the Virginia Fiesta, she was proud.
This unites us culturally. Hispanic countries have so much history and so much culture. We have to demonstrate here.
In the rotunda of the Science Museum of Virginia, you were transported to a world of different cultures. For the second year, Radio Poder, alongside the Science Museum of Virginia, put together the Virginia Fiesta to showcase the Hispanic community in Richmond. Event organizer and Radio Poder's host, Oscar Contreras, says this event is about more than just Latin America.
We're not like Northern Virginia, but it's becoming in that way, not just Latin America, but from all over the world. And so having these kind of spaces for different communities, I think just enriches what Richmond is.
According to statistics from Data USA, Richmond has seen a gradual increase in the Hispanic population since 2013. U.S. Census Bureau reports say the population currently sits at nearly 17,000. For many Hispanics in Richmond, Virginia Fiesta is an opportunity to share their identity and find a sense of community. Liliana Gomez dances with Sacred Heart's folkloric dance program. She says she performs so she can stay in tune with her culture.
I enjoy it because I get to be a part of my Mexican culture, especially to be closer to my family.
For VCU InSight and the newsroom of VCU, I'm Ana Parada.
Richmond Restaurant Week has returned for its fall run. The week-long celebration began Monday and will continue through the weekend with 35 locally owned restaurants offering 3-course meals for a little over $35. $5 will be donated to Feed More, a Richmond-based nonprofit dedicated to combating hunger in the community. Maymont looks a little different. Garden Glow is happening right now. It's one of the city's unique fall activities. Thousands of lights illuminate the property, including the carriage house lawn and various gardens. It's fun for the whole family. There's a glow bar, fire pit, food trucks, and art installations. Adult tickets are $16, kids 3 to 16 are $12, and children under the age of 2 are free. The event lasts until November 12th. Get ready for an exciting weekend of weather, folks. Friday is going to be a full day of sunshine and clear skies with a low of 60 degrees and a high of 80. And on Saturday, expect the same, with picture-perfect weather and mild temperatures, ideal for all outdoor plans. So don't forget to make the most of clear skies and enjoy a fantastic weekend ahead. And speaking of the outdoors, it's Halloween weekend, and the spirits are alive and well over at Hanover Avenue. The homeowners are celebrating another festive year, and you can expect thousands of people to visit this popular neighborhood. It will be cooler and breezy on Halloween, so you might want to bundle up. You can check out the latest edition of VCU InSight on Thursday afternoons on your YouTube channel. For VCU InSight, I'm Brian Fritz.